Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Purgatory, and first live commentary. Not a live commentary. Uh, it's just kind of something I want to do. Going into 2018, kind of plans I have for the channel, all that stuff. I've already said that I wanted to bring a more variety to my channel, and that starting with racing and all that stuff. So, before I go any further, the gameplay you are watching is MX versus ATV all out, and there's going to be some nostalgia storytelling here in a bit once I'm done talking here. If you hear any clicking, that is because I am trying to change video to watch to while I watch my own gameplay, I guess you could say. But yeah, so future of the channel. Where do I want to take the channel? What do I want to do? Like I said in the video yesterday with the Monster Energy Supercross video, I do want to bring some more variety to the channel, and that is obviously with racing games and along with shooters, along with maybe some fighting games, along with some adventure games. Like today I'm getting Spyro, so I plan to play that on my channel later today. I don't know when I'll do the first part, but I do plan to play that pretty soon, so that's gonna be exciting. So yeah, I'm feeling very ambitious this year for a lot of things, for the YouTube channel and just for myself in general. I'm not going to go into too much detail into it, but this year I'm going to start development on my very first video game. Usually I try not to say that stuff because sometimes it's all backfires and something always gets in the way, but that's what I plan to do. No information on it yet because I still need to learn the ins and outs of the engine and all that stuff, and how to put everything together into what I want it, into what I envision it to be. So, yeah, this is a little bit of news for me, I guess. But yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of stuff I want to bring to the channel this year. I plan to grind out more than I did before. It's all planned, and I really hope I can stick to it. This year, I'm definitely going to test myself just to show that I can stick with something and all that stuff. And yeah, and obviously when the end of the year starts slowly coming by, I will be most likely start getting excited for the brand new Call of Duty title from Infinity Ward this year, which is rumored to be Modern Warfare 4. So a lot of rumors about it already, but yeah. So again, I'm not going to share too much details, but I am feeling very ambitious this year, channel wise and video game wise. And yeah, and I'll update you guys on anything about any progress I've made in anything that I ever do. I plan to do these more sincere, unscripted commentary videos whenever the time comes. So yeah. All right. So I want to go ahead and start going into a little bit of story time. So I'll get, obviously, the gameplay you're watching, MX vs ATV all out. I'm a huge fan of off-road racing games, such as like mostly motocross games and supercross games, stuff like that. Whenever I'm not playing Mario Kart or playing like any like cartoon kind of racing game, I'm playing an off-road kind of game, such as this, like MX vs ATV all out, anything MX vs ATV, to be honest, MXGP, Monster Supercross, Gravel, anything that is released very recently. I'm very excited for Monster Energy Supercross 2 that comes out in February next month, about 5 weeks from now. I'm pretty excited to be able to check that out. and you expect some gameplay over on this channel whenever that does release. Sorry, give me one sec. I am changing videos. So yeah, and so now I'm gonna explain why. I'm a little tired, so I'm kind of like stuttering my words a little bit. Haven't slept for a good amount of hours. I apologize, but on to my storytelling and why I said that. Whenever I played MX vs ATV All Out, I had a huge nostalgia trip, remembering all the good times I ever had. Because if a lot of you, nobody really knows this, but other than I think MX Unleashed was my very first game, very first of any off-road racing games that I ever played. I played MX Unleashed, and I played ATV Off-Road Fury, and then I played MX vs ATV Unleashed when they decided that putting MX motocross and ATVs all in one video game makes it easier on them, I'm guessing, and it just makes for a better experience because you can like race with you can race a motocross cycle with an ATV, and that's freaking fantastic. And MX vs ATV Unleashed, along with Untamed, stand as my favorite MX vs ATV games. Yes, I do like MX vs ATV All Out. I think they provided a lot of content for this game, and you know, DLC is DLC. But I feel like there's definitely a bit more that they could have done with this game. As much as I absolutely adore this game, and I like to play it, it's not my favorite. I think it's a good middle point of all the MX games. My least favorite, to be honest, being MX vs ATV Supercross. Not Supercross Encore, because quite frankly, Supercross Encore is actually a lot more different than MX vs ATV Supercross. So, but Supercross Encore, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about regular Supercross. MX vs ATV Reflex I loved, but I didn't play that as much as I did the other titles. But whenever I did have a good time, even though I kind of sucked at that game. I kind of suck at the really like twin stick kind of stuff, even though in this race I'm kind of doing pretty good. I'm in first place. But the thing is, the AI difficulty ain't turned up all too much. So, anyways, but yeah, I get a lot of nostalgia because I remember when I had my original Xbox. It was either the original Xbox or the PlayStation 2. Now I'm remembering, I think we had MX Unleashed on the PlayStation 2, and then we got MX vs ATV Unleashed on the original Xbox. We also had ATV Off-Road Fury on PS2 as well, and I played the hell out of those. Those are my two very first off-roading games ever. I think my first ever racing game ever was Mario Kart 64. So obviously, I adopt a passion for Mario Kart because that was the first racing game I ever played, and now every time there's a new Mario Kart coming out, something like that, I get really excited. So anything racing related, such as like Crash Team Racing, that was an alternate kind of kart racing game that I played that I really enjoyed. I'm really glad that they're deciding to remaster it, and the fact that they're not charging full $60 for the game is a major plus. And obviously, like, you know, getting Spyro, all that stuff. I'm pretty excited to see to be able to share some gameplay with you guys about all that stuff. And yeah, man, I'm pretty stoked. But on to the rest of the story. I remember when my brother and we used to sit in front of the TV as soon as we got MX vs ATV Unleashed. We used to play split screen in the little open world so we could just like perform tricks and all that stuff around each other and just like see what we can pull off. And my brother would always fly the little plane that they had in the game, and I would drive like the monster truck if I'm just feeling to mess around. And I love how like when you go out of the bounds Like whenever me and him first discovered the catapulting, whenever you try to go out of bounds, like you catapult right back. We laughed we laughed really hard. I was super young, but still remember a lot of it. I wasn't like too young to not remember. But yeah, I was pretty good at that game. I won a lot of races against my brother, and that was at the time whenever there was no twin stick steering, like handling, all that stuff. So yeah, I remember there's a lot of stuff I remember with MX versus ATV, and I think MX versus ATV will always have a special place in my heart compared to other games such as Supercross, Monster Energy Supercross, MXGP, anything from Milestone. As much as I love everything from Milestone, I think every time there's a new MX versus ATV that comes out, I have to get it. Even though I did sleep on MX versus ATV all out big time, so yeah. And that's really about all I really wanted to say. MX vs ATV All Out is a fantastic racing game. It's given me that nostalgia trip because it reminds me of the old MX vs ATV games. It was never too realistic. It was never too like, hey, we gotta simulate the real thing. Oh, sorry, I'm yawning. Let's make it more fun. Let's make it feel like an arcadey kind of game. And now, thing is, they don't really have to worry about that anymore because there's a different company out there making the simulator kind of game. I really like coming to this game just to take a break. It takes a while to get used to. There's a bit of a skill gap in this game. But not as big of a skill gap as there is with like Supercross, Monster Energy Supercross, or like MXGP Pro. But there is a little bit of like knowing how to maneuver a track, knowing your bike. There's a few hard tracks in this game, such as like every single slash track, which is the DLC. They're crazy hard, and it's really easy to lose even with medium AI, as you can see with this gameplay I'm showing on the Arena Cross DLC. I'm just not doing too well at all. So I feel like these tracks are actually made for 450s. I was riding on a 250 on these tracks, but yeah. So before I go, I do want to announce one more thing. I have 2 tracks. To anybody who owns Monster Energy Supercross, I now have made 2 custom tracks with the in-game track editor. One of them is called "quote unquote" Arena Cross. Why did I call it that? Because at the beginning of creating the track, I had something of like an arena looking track in mind. So if you want to go, it's literally "quote unquote." It's in between quotes, and it's called Arena Cross. It already has a few downloads, I think, which is pretty nice to see that people actually check it out. I don't know if people thought it was good. I made it a little complicated, but then there's another one that's kind of more arcadey. It's called Excite Bike. It's inspired by Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's Excite Bike track. Obviously, I can't recreate it one-to-one because there's some assets in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe that are not in Monster Energy Supercross. So there's that. And one more thing. For some reason, when it comes to MX vs ATV All Out, I do a ton better in first person. As you guys can see, I'm going to transition the gameplay, and I'm going to leave it to that gameplay because it's just me. It's just maneuvering an arena cross track on time trial, and I'm just going to show you guys about 1 or 2 laps of that with no commentary. On like difference between me in third person and me in first person, because I think that's a perfect example, and the gameplay that you're watching here as well. So yeah. Anyways, that is going to be about it for me today, guys. I hope y'all have a great day. I hope y'all are already having a really great 2019. My 2019 started off pretty good. I got the Rainbow devs, like the people who developed this game, MX vs ATV All Out. They actually followed me on social media, and usually that wouldn't be such a big deal for anybody, but whenever I'm getting followed by a game dev, it's just like kind of like surreal. it's pretty nice. It's I got followed by the Rainbow devs themselves, and then I got what am I trying to say? And then I also got followed by the community manager and the MX vs ATV All Out page. So for some reason, to the MX vs ATV All Out devs, Rainbow, if you're watching this, I want to thank you guys, first of all, and two, thank you for making such an awesome history of motocross games and really paving the way of motocross racing games, because you guys, I think, are the first people to actually make this kind of mainstream kind of like parts of racing and getting fans to be able to play a video game based on one of their most favorite sports, which is anything motorsport. But anyways, I'm gonna leave y'all with that gameplay of the difference between me in first person and me in third person, and I'm gonna go sleep. I'm really tired. It's 10 in the morning and I haven't slept yet. So anyways, hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure to leave a like if you did. Make sure to subscribe if you're brand new to the channel. Comment what you think of MX vs ATV All Out, or what's your favorite motocross game, supercross game. What's your favorite racing game? I'm very curious. Anyways, you guys have a great day. I love you all. Goodbye.